Welcome to Lesson 5.3 of your Dynamic Small Business Search course. In the last lesson, we walked through DSBS, looking at other people's capability narrative. There was a wide range of quality in those profiles we looked at, and hopefully you really understood how powerful the capabilities narrative is to differentiating you from those competitors of yours. In this lesson, we'll get started with writing an initial capabilities narrative. We just need to have something of quality in DSBS for now. Later on, you can always come back and refine it, or even pay somebody to create a more compelling narrative. For now, we'll get something in there that will help you get on the buyer's shortlist. Writing the narrative can be challenging if you don't follow a process. My process here will make this painless for you and hopefully maybe enjoyable. Let's just hold off on the enjoyable for a second and try for painless to start, all right? So let's get started on taking a look at the process that I follow. First, I like to work with high-level keywords, and you've heard me talk about this before. So for SV MacPack, my company and the one we're doing, I'm using these three keywords: training, scanning, and records management. I understand that these are the keywords, the high-level keywords that basically describe what my company does. So then the next thing I recommend is that we write an opening sentence. And I've already taken a stab at these things, right? So here's the first stab I did at an opening sentence. SV MacPack, led by an experienced and proven executive in the federal market, provides three key services to federal agency customers: training, scanning, and records management. Now, that clearly won't be my final one because I'll improve it as we go along, but that in itself is a pretty good opening sentence. It tells them briefly what we do. Now what we want to do is take each one of these three keywords, training, scanning, and records management, and begin to write a mini paragraph for each one as we go forward. So let me take first a stab at the training. Here I wrote, we develop and deliver training courses that are highly effective at delivering the necessary information while maintaining a high level of student participation. That hits on some of the things that are important for me that I'm trying to communicate with my customer, right? Hopefully that sentence makes sense. Each of you has a different business, and so you're going to have to work this out for yourself, but you see the direction I'm going. Let's take on scanning now. For scanning, I wrote, we help the federal government free up valuable office and storage space by scanning paper files and records with needed metadata applied to support long-term use of these electronic files. And so for me, what I'm trying to communicate to the government here is, first off, we're helping the federal government. I'm trying to scream that out, right? And I'm really trying to point out that we help you free up this valuable office and storage space. In paper and records management activities, the government is paying for a lot of storage space. And what I'm trying to say to them is, hey, I can come in and scan, but I know that it will free up some of your offices so that you can actually use that for people to sit in rather than just paper sitting in there. So I'm trying to touch on some of their pain points here. Let's touch that last one, records management. And the last one I'm saying, led by a NARA certified records manager, we help our customers maintain compliance with internal records management policies and NARA/OMB regulations. We have developed an electronic records management system for government customers in DoD and civilian agencies to maintain Federal Records Act and Presidential Records Act compliance. So this one's a mouthful, right? But what I'm really trying to touch on is some key buzzwords as it relates to records management. One is NARA and OMB regulations. Right now, the federal government's really under the gun as it relates to records management from NARA and OMB, which is basically the White House. Then I'm also trying to quickly drop in that, hey, I've got an electronic records management system. So I built a solution in Microsoft SharePoint. Here it is, and I've rolled it out for DoD and civilian customers. This is something I hope they look at and they go, oh, it looks like they got some past performance in there. And that's what you're trying to do, not drop it completely, every single agency's name. That's done in past performance. But here in the narrative, just touching on the federal government. And then the last part is Federal Records Act and Presidential Records Act. There's a differentiator there that shows anybody who knows what they're talking about in records management that I know what I'm talking about, because most people know about FRA, the Federal Records Act. But PRA, Presidential Records Act, is a whole different animal. It's an entirely different act. And so it's just quickly dropping that I have the experience in here. So I'm a certified records manager on both types of records management acts. So that's how I took a stab at writing these mini paragraphs, if you will, for each one of my main high-level keywords. That concludes lesson 5.3. I'll see you in the next lesson.